I forgot what I was going to open this video with, so I'll just move on. Actually, before we do that, I mean, I'm going to reset anyway, so I'm not going to say much else about what's about to happen. We will be playing on an Aaron run, but yeah, I know I'm just choosing Aaron at my own discretion, but the thing I really wanted to say, as I just no, I think we're okay. Yeah, I think we're okay. So, without further ado, as we move on here, so we're on a medical history run, the random item stats. And for timestamp's sake, let's just get into it. So, as we get into this Aaron medical history random item stat custom character run, hopefully I should be able to run to an event. I think I added 5 to 10 copies of both events. Both of them are literally the same event. They're just in different locations. But otherwise, yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, this is more a test to see if I can do a thing as I cough to the side. Light, strength, charisma, Takshisan, knowledge, and maybe a second encounter check. Hold on, let me look at this lighthouse. We have 1 charisma, so pain, but thankfully we're not on his test run. This character gets absolutely obliterated, by the way, unless you get lucky. So we have a light check and charisma. 5 reason. I want to figure out what I want to do now, because I'm pretty sure we're taking the full. Yeah, I wanted to take a second look because we have every single stat that we don't have, and by that I mean we don't have a dexterity check, which would have been the only saving grace. But saving grace, how did I want to pronounce that? With the intonation. Anywho, we definitely want to go illegal den, and away we go. I mean, I will have to explain myself when we get to a shop, because we're definitely using the illegal den in this video. So, yeah, grow teeth is absolutely pointless most of the time, but we'll see. And off we go. So, I'll get into anything I want to talk about after going over the mysteries. Teacher, metamorphosis, so boss, nails, 3 bosses immediately. Postal, kind of boss. But actual boss, if you went into it. I've never... why did I never do homework to see if this was a guaranteed encounter? And then Orphan, which has its own troubles. I swear I don't have a sore throat anymore. But yeah, we want to take Metamorphosis probably second, because we do have Postal, and I know Postal has brought me pain before. That does mean I need to take either Nails or Teacher fourth. I mean, if I wanted to sit here and think for a while longer, I would. We can arrest the boss of Nails with handcuff tech, so that's why I'm taking Teacher first. Because I either take Teacher, maybe take Badly Bleeding, but then have to heal that later, or I take Nails, immediately use the handcuffs, and then figure out what I want to do with Teacher later on, because then it does more Doom damage, and I'm not sure if I'll have enough Doom. So, to just explain here, I'm pretty sure this part of the Perm plugin, depending on when this video uploads, has not updated yet. But yes, we have more item shops. I mean, we can stop here while I think about what I want to take, because we also see a couple of custom items. Really want to take a perception weapon, though? Yeah. So funny enough, we're going to actually reroll everything here. But just to say it outright, yeah, even just having 1 extra slot, I know there are other shops that only have an extra slot. I'm guessing the illegal den got 2 slots extra, because no army knife, by the way, got 2 slots because there are more custom items at base if you're using the Perm plugin item pack that are available in the legal den than say the occult shop. I didn't check the dog shop, and I didn't check, I think there's one more, maybe the hospital, but otherwise I think we can work with dexterity as well. Yeah, so we'll work with dexterity. We'll probably... the library notes don't sell for anything because of random item stats, question mark? But otherwise, off we go. 21% Doom, yeah, that's par for the course. And otherwise, Aaron is just going to give us effects anyway, so I'm kind of thinking on how... it's not always guaranteed now everything costs more, but... Did I ever mention this? I wonder what happens when you run out of town effects. I mean, I could just test that myself, but... anywho, moving on. So we have the grow teeth spell, and then Aaron just gave us teeth. But anywho, we'll try our best to survive. This is a very boss intensive run if we're to focus on this video. If you have a run like this, you definitely want to make sure you're combat capable. Usually that involves getting a weapon, like 75% of the time. On a Harbinger run, I need to keep mentioning that. Because whether you're trying to do, say, Reign of Spiders, whether you're trying to do the Ghostly Town Challenge or whatever, you are at the mercy of your mysteries. And I think if I recall correctly, also this is I did just pull this character off from wherever they were. I remember talking about green pixels or this green pixel line before. I pulled the character directly. I also never grabbed the handcuffs. Not that I need to. This is a human encounter, but I promise you, on this run, if not another run, there are more important enemies to use the handcuffs on. Especially if you're capable or you're willing to use the handcuff tech. I know I mentioned that before, and it sounds like a weird thing to be specific about or just keep harping on about, but, you know, not everyone wants to use bugs to their advantage. Period. That's all I really should say about it. I can't brace into a teacher attack, so take our 6 doom and move on. Thankfully, we didn't get badly bleeding. That saves you quite a bit more than you would expect, but it's not a run killer. And by that I mean if you get badly bleeding. So theoretically speaking, I think badly bleeding is a minor injury, right? Let's assume it's a minor injury. You prepare for 2 doom. You get 1 funds. Then you have to visit the doctor's office, which I think is 1 doom. Again, let's assume that much, and then so you use 3 doom to get rid of an injury without any other RNG involved, including curing the injury, you get hasty 8, or curing the injury and you get discharge summary, which is 20 experience. But you get the point. It's not the worst trade in the world, because usually, from what I see, a lot of players often do. We have a max seaside, by the way, and we're in Metamorphosis, so time to patrol the seaside. But wait, I see a lot of players rest usually to recover, which isn't a bad idea at all. So if you consider that you went into a boss mystery and then you had to rest afterward, then yeah, that 3 doom you used getting rid of badly bleeding is well worth it. Leap to the side because we have dexterity. I hoped it was dexterity. I didn't remember that at all, but hey. We're gonna hold out just in case we maybe get quick thinking, never mind, our dexterity decrease, and that was what caused that? I think that was Aaron, right? Was that Aaron? Empty bottles into something else. I feel like Aaron just oofed me here, but we'll do another run. This time it won't be on Aaron. Yeah, so I realize here, what was that effect? I don't remember. I don't know what that was. And because I didn't want to do Aaron anymore, I guess we're going into Zek. We're definitely doing another video at least with this character. I need to remember to do that, because I've often cut in between character episodes before. Other than that, we have a pretty normal run, except for the fact that we're on Zektast. So, if nothing else, hey, here's how you're going to play Zektast when you're playing with a character that starts with 1 in a stat. You just walk forward. You can't shop. You can't do any sublocations, pretty much, for the entire run, especially if... I've played with characters with 1 in a stat before. I think this is the first character that has a stat and that starts at 1, then another stat that's at 2, and another stat that's at 3. Basically, there's a very low ZST run, and ZST is my little homemade definition for Zektast stat points you need to avoid getting 84% Doom without Zektast giving you stats. Which, again, in this instance, I mean, there's a higher chance that Zektast gives us a stat that we need, because we need 3. But again, that's kind of on the other side of the spectrum where, yeah, Zektast could give me 1 in 3, or 3 and 5. But the fact that I have 3 out of 5 stats being very low is very painful. Again, I'm not saying that this is a bad character design decision from a gameplay standpoint. That sounds really sweaty, because, and it is sweaty, but I mean, objectively speaking, I don't think anyone can argue that this is a bad start to a Zektast run, just stat-wise, not even looking at the character. So therefore, we're taking Kana first, because Kana will indirectly help with, you know, having to deal with encounters. Now, it's not the best still, because you still want to be able to do more than, like, 6 to 8 damage per turn, but I'm shrugging in real life as I say, when Zektast is pressuring you Doom-wise, you just cross your fingers and hope you don't die. Now, at this point, considering the previous run, would I rather have Aaron stalking me with 1 in a stat, or would I be in a Zektast run? I would rather still be on Aaron, but just barely slightly, because, yeah, my RNG, since if you have really bad RNG, there's just as good a chance you 0 stat. I think I went through this, I have gone through this calculation before. I think the odds were like at round 25, if not 25% minimum, that there's a chance you run into an effect out of 100, 1 out of 100 effects in which you don't destroy anything. Again, this is not positive or negative criticism, but it is at least something that I can think about in my brain, at minimum, but just throwing it out there based on observations. And, I mean, if Aaron didn't do that, something did that. Whatever it was, there's a chance that it can happen, and if you have really bad RNG, just expect it to happen like 1 out of 10 times. Even if it's like only 2% chance, 5% chance, just it's 15%, the magic number. So, I know I just dropped my reason to 0, but because we have Restless bonus, we should survive. We also have Hot Bath, but as I just mentioned, we can't afford to really stop. Unless, of course, you get, I mean, yes, if you visiting a sublocation granted me 30 experience somehow, like, was it Police Station? No, Police Station is experience for funds. You get the point. Then yes, being able to level up and increase my stats would help out immensely here. Unfortunately, that's usually not the case. So yeah. The same could be said for, hey, you want to enter a location that's not part of the main mystery, but it grants you like 30 experience. Maybe there's like 2 enemies, really 2 enemies at least, that, oh my goodness, I just realized not having a weapon here is going to hurt me in story, but we'll deal with it. Yeah, maybe there's 2 events that grant you 30 experience somehow at a like 75% chance because you can roll on a stat and you know the decision. Then sure, right? Do whatever you want. But otherwise, yeah, just like Tassa's walk forward. Now, it's still hoping for a lot because, as you just saw, I spent about 10% doing my first mystery, and if we hit 21%, we're dead. So, here's hoping. Max threat level locations are not helping us here, but we just have to walk forward and hope that we get enough experience to level up by succeeding in stat checks, which means we want to alert the woman, and, well, never mind, I'm going crazy. Wait, that's just 1 stamina or 1 doom, really? Because I think running is like 1 doom, but still, we'd rather take the stamina damage in that case, because as you see here, we're about to die to Zectast. So trust, nope, we didn't get any experience for that, but what we can do is nothing, actually. So, probably should have grabbed the handcuffs here. But it doesn't really matter. So, yeah, we're going to throw this empty bottle for extra damage. Also, I forgot that I also should have used the order ticket. Note that I never ran into the event I was hoping for. So, and yeah, funny enough, these cans of Eldsoft are really, really dangerous for us here. So, we just have to keep kung-fuing this boss. Now, do we get out is the next question. Because, yeah, we can't brace for anything. So... I think we do, yeah. We should. You're normally always going to be able to desperate struggle into 2 kicks. So there's your 8 guaranteed damage, but even with 8 guaranteed damage at the end there, boy, pain. So we definitely need to increase charisma. So we do get leadership. We're going to take strength then, because again, the reason why you do this in particular is because there is no strength general perk, and we need to increase strength anyway. Now, we could double up on charisma, but let's try to take, I would consider the more consistent option, which would be to increase strength and then increase charisma. 1 through a perk and 1 through just straight out stat increases. Now, let's take story now, because we're going to run out of, where we're not going to have a fun time. We also need to grab a weapon. We're forced to here. I promise you, if I do not grab a weapon here, we're dead. So, here's hoping. Okay, we do see the army knife. Can we sell something? No. No. So, let's hope. We also need to rest, by the way. But the maybe upside here is that we get to... depending on how much experience we get with these mystery encounters, I'll let you know if this run was cursed. Not that cursed means guaranteed to lose, it's just very hard. So, without further ado, off we go. We can complete this mystery in under 42% doom, I believe. Now, whether or not I'll do that is a completely different story. I don't have anything else I can do I? No. So we just have to take this into face. I mean, if I'm going to do this, I might as well go for a dodge here. The reasoning is that we are not going to... If we hit 2 attacks here, we're not going to get out anyway. My next question is how likely this was, so I guess I could have done that instead. But, either way, it's close as RNG as doesn't matter. So you do get a good amount of experience. The question is, will I get it in time? Also without dying, yeah, because there again, I was gonna mention, events could just grant me doom here, and we just die. So, I'm not gonna force, in the next episode, I'm not gonna force good God and backstory combinations, but boy oh boy, is it really, really tempting. We could also probably visit the, Thingamajiggy? Yeah, because we have... Visiting the police station here will probably grant us more doom decrease overall, so we might as well. And I think we pretty much just broke even there. So let's see here. In this encounter, yeah, we can just do this. 90% chance to 1 turn. That's pretty good experience. You know what? I would rather fight an encounter like that, even though that is a very easy encounter most of the time. Rather run into that than run into events. I think my event RNG should explain why. Also, this character has low knowledge, so I just forgot that we're in here for a moment. Thank goodness we took Kana with us. If we didn't have Kana with us, we'd be dead, by the way. I think we can barely dodge into a Sever, but this is the reason why you want at least 4 knowledge, basically. Not that every character is going to, so I mean, this is kind of a normal thing to run into anyway. It's just that, just know that if you're going to run into a ghost encounter, you probably want a +1 somewhere. +1 meaning something... Usually maybe an item to throw, but otherwise some other way to deal with ghosts. And some people might say, Jordan, just do ghost encounters, I promise you. Or just find the ghost ritual, I promise you. That's going to grant you more pain on Harbinger difficulty. On an easier difficulty, if you have a strat for it, usually a 1 damage enemy strat for fighting the ritual, yes, okay. Even if it's just outright running into a 1 doom encounter and just guessing your mystery, or guessing your ritual in like 5 turns, I believe. I don't use ritual a lot. So we 4-turn-ish this encounter. Really, probably 3-turn because of, yeah, that. We're at 3 stamina, and then we need to go under 15 HP. You can go under 20 HP here, but... Did I forget to use the order ticket again? I'll use it. You know what? For funsies, we'll use it twice here. Yeah, and let's move on. So, with 1 more level up, we'll be kind of free, I think. We'll also... use this can of Eltsoft. But I need to use the order ticket twice, so 1, 2... 2 bottles of water, by the way, is very good. I think, funny enough, the bottles of water are the best thing you can get out of these order tickets. But again, for no other reason, so let me explain. Empty bottles you can refill at the bath. When you get a bottle of water, it's immediately 1 stamina. And then you can throw empty bottles at enemies if you need the extra damage. So, are we on a 3? I'm just going to say we're on a 3 custom mystery run. So... Toward to Orphan, I guess. This is funny enough, we've gone farther here than we did in Aaron, but that's RNG issues. So, could use the glass eye to get an extra point of perception, but then I would lose stamina. So, we are not... We need stamina. I was going to say we're not hurting for stamina, but that makes no sense. We are going to fail here. So, we funny enough get experience, but then we need to win. Perception? RNG doesn't matter, and RNG, my stats don't matter is what I want to say, and off we go. I wanted to talk about something else this video, but I promise you, the RNG I ran into randomizing my run twice, it was pretty bad, so I needed to focus a bit more than not at all. That being said, at this point you might say, well, Jordan, why don't you just set your own runs? It's because I feel it's a lot more fun to randomize my things, so yes, all of this overall was a self-inflicted... All of my pain here is self-inflicted by my own soft rule choices. Anywho. Are we actually... No, I needed to level up twice because of this. So... We'll take strength instead. We can level up again before... If 20... Basically, you can level up before 20% Doom, but you really have to be... I was going to say pinching pennies, but I'm going crazy here. You get the point. You need to be really careful. And by that, I mean not taking doom decisions. I didn't remember that event. I was like, maybe the guaranteed out is reason loss. It's not. So, we're in some trouble because this amount of doom is no longer stable, and we're probably not going to level up. So I'm really hoping at some point Zectast has to specifically... So here, I mean, here's where, well, 1, Zectast has not granted me a stat increasing event at all. 2, then I have to hit a 1 out of 20, or 1 out of I've hit a 20%. That Zictast increases my charisma. Also, I just ended up fighting a boss. I probably should have just taken the guaranteed out, which is to just run into the video, but at this point, we're stuck here. So, thankfully, we two-turned this encounter with the help of an empty bottle. Hence, one piece of evidence for why empty bottle is great. Do we have our weird collection? Why are we getting glass eyes left and right? Anywho. Hundreds of hours in World of Horror, by the way. Went into Orphan Ego. That being said, once we have enough stats to survive, which is about, again, 2 charisma, we will survive this run. That's the flip side of all of this low stat, low doom consideration strategy. Is that, yeah, you won't need to worry. Now, we can't run from this encounter because we will die by 0 statting. But we are close to level up, so therefore, defeating this encounter would be very, 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 very helpful. Basically, if we can survive 84% Doom without my stats decreasing by, like, the Hunger Curse or Broken Bone through Strength, we're okay. On the flip side of that, we still need to actually survive, so literally we can rest, we can make use of things, and no. The answer is going to be no. So, for the sake of just going through, let's use this order ticket one more time. And I didn't even get a can of Elsoft. Now I'm just curious at this point. So just give myself the moral defeat here. And let's see. By the way, to note, this order ticket has 5 possible outcomes. We've gotten bottles of water 3 to 4 times in a row. So let me just... yeah, and the ticket now disappears. So let me just... emphasize how much that was crazy. And yeah, we're just fated to lose here. So without further ado, I don't think there's any recourse here. We'll jam this glass eye into our face, but hey, and off we go. Yeah, 99 experience. We're literally any good event check or me not taking 3 Doom, because I probably could have gotten experience in that event, would have helped out. But the threshold between victory and defeat can be a thin one. Wow, I butchered that. But anyway, I'm just going to end this video now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Bye!